Today is May 24th, 2005, and I'm Jessica Clark, the Teresa Mack Germans from Russia History Fellow and the coordinator for the Germans from Russia Oral History Project. It is a pleasure to visit with Adam in Gackle, North Dakota. For the record, can you please state your full name and date and location of birth?
Adam A. Kaseman, 6/23/27, McIntosh County.
McIntosh County. Okay. Well, you were born on the farm then, I imagine.
I was born on the farm, yep. All of us were.
All of you. What was the closest town to your farm?
We were right in the middle of Wishick, Sealant, and Ashley.
Oh.
17 miles from either town.
Okay. Well, you said your grandfather came from Russia.
Yeah.
Did you know your grandfather?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did he have a farm close to you, or?
No, I remember he wasn't living in town already when I was a kid.
Which town did he live in?
Wishick.
Wishick. Okay. On your mom's side, did you know her grandparents?
Yes, I was Paul's bear and my grandmother's funeral. They lived in Hosmer, South Dakota. And what else you want to know?
Did you see him very often? Either grandparents?
Not too often.
Not too often. Okay.
Grandma was still alive when we got married. That I remember. I'm not good at remembering things.
Hey, not a problem. If you don't remember, we move on. Let's see here. Were you close to your grandfather that lived in Wishick?
We stopped in there every time we went to town when we got to go along.
Mm-hmm. How would you describe your grandfather?
Well, he had a white beard, and I talked to my brother here not too long ago, and I wanted to know if that big rock is still south of the farm. That's about all I can remember. We walked down there and sat on that rock, my grandfather and I, when I was...
Really little?
I can't even remember. I kind of slightly remember when he passed away, but that's about all I can remember.
How old were you about when he passed away?
Good question. 6, 7 years old.
Okay, so really young. Do you remember going to his funeral, or?
I remember in the house. It was in the house. It wasn't in the church, I think. I don't know.
That was common back then.
I know they had him sitting in the house overnight, and I think the funeral was at the house.
Okay. How many children did your father's parents have? Aunts and uncles.
Where did I read it the other day? 17, I think they had.
17 children. Oh.
8 and 7. No. 9 and 9, I think. I just don't remember.
Oh.
I know it wasn't
A large number.
large number.
Did they all live in the area, or?
They all lived in the area.
Okay.
All around Wishick. Adam got shot. They were out hunting and the gun fell down through a crack in the box and he killed them. Rosa burned to death. The rest all died of natural causes in their 90s.
How did Rosa burn to death?
Playing in the burned hay straw pile. I'm not sure, but they burned the straw pile and it burned out underneath and she fell in. Or something like that. I just don't remember.
How old was she when that happened?
She was a little girl.
Little girl. And then the hunting accident, was that as a young child?
No, he was, I don't know how old he was. Got to go out to the cemetery and look at the headstone.
Okay. But he was a man.
He was,
he was a man by that time.
I'd say 16, 17, 18.
Oh, okay,
I don't
so a young
know.
man.
He was a young man.
Okay. And then the rest of them, you said, lived into their...
They lived into the 90s.
Oh, so...
My dad was 93 and he shot himself. So I don't know if you want to know that stuff or not. But
No, that's fine. We're really open with the interviews. It's just like go wherever they go.
My sister's husband committed suicide in 1956, and Marvin's daughter committed suicide in California. My son got shot. And what else is new? My dad and my mother died she was in a retirement home for 4 years. And he went over there twice a day. And she died on the 17th June. On the 12th of July, he went out beside her grave and shot himself. We were going to put him in a retirement home or hire somebody to take care of him, but didn't make it in time. After he done it, he told us that's going to happen, but we put 2 and 2 together. He had an old Sears catalog in 1905, just like new, and I was going to buy it, and he just buy it at the auction sale. So, you know,
in hindsight, you see.
He already had things planned out. So.
How many brothers and sisters did your mom have?
Jake, Mom, Rose, and 5, I think. There's Jake, Mom, Mackie, Bill, George, and Rose, 6.
There's 6 of them. So smaller side of the family compared to your father's. Okay. Were you close to any of your uncles and aunts in particular?
Well, Uncle Albert was about the only one that, the rest were all, older, and I had cousins that were older than my dad.
Oh, okay.
My dad was the second youngest one, and Jake was the oldest one out of 17, so...
Yeah, because I imagine there'd be quite an age gap between them if there's 17
the
children.
Overlanders, on Caroline's boys, they were my dad's age. So when they come to visit, they visit with the folks instead of us.
So yeah, the cousins are... Okay. Well, speaking of cousins, were there cousins your age that you hung out with or played with?
Oh, yeah, Elmer. That's about the only one that I hung out with. He died when he was 62 years old.
What types of things would you do with Elmer when he would come over?
Not much we could do them days. I seen my first movie when I was 17 years old.
Okay. What, in one of the towns?
In Wishick.
In Wishick? You remember what that was?
Yes, I do. I don't remember what the name was, but I knew Jimmy Stewart was in prison and he made a rifle. Whatever movie that was.
How would you describe your dad when you were a kid?
Tough.
Tough?
Come home from the 4th of July and had a little world term string hanging out here. That was the last time I got a whooping.
How about your mom?
We got along. She's the one to give us a little spending money once in a while.
What was your...
Them days, the parents were with the kids like we are now.
Yeah. Different family.
It was...
Structure.
I don't know how to put it. And we worked when we were 8 years. I was 8 years old. I plowed with the horses. I seeded with the horses. Cut grass with the horse, raked down. And now they sit and push buttons. That's the house that my grandfather built.
Oh.
Back there's the
information. Bernard Kaseman, second house, 61 South Left, which was taken in 1890.
We still played in. I remember playing in that.
Lived in until 1915 when new house was built. Children.
See, my dad wasn't even born in this picture
Yeah,
yet.
it says children: Jake on rake, John on mower, Caroline, Gottlieb, and Bernard.
Just don't know where the heck
How about to scan that one in as well? How many kids were in your family?
8.
8 of you? Who's the oldest? How was the order?
Art, Leona, myself, Erna, Clifton, Marvin, Howard, and
Did you do that one?
let's see, Art.
That's what back in the...
There's Art, Leona. That's me, Erna, Clifton. Marvin, Howard, and Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
He's 10 years younger than I am.
He was born in 1939. And who's the oldest? Are you the oldest, or?
No, Art's the oldest.
Art's the oldest, and he was born in 1927.
Well, that's me.
Oh, no,
Here.
1923.
23, yeah.
So 1923 and then 1939. So you have quite an age gap there too between the oldest and the youngest.
Yeah, see, Art'd be what now? 23. He'd be 82.
Mhm. Mhm.
See, and I'll be 78. And Eddie's gonna be 67.
Mhm.
He's gonna be 68. Because Eddie's 10 years younger than I
Yeah,
am.
and then you are, yeah. Okay.
And then being there's a gap here from 26 to 23. One of them passed away in here, but
You have how many sisters?
2.
2 sisters. Okay.
And
So
one-
did
one-
they help with the farm work as well?
Yeah, everybody helped. The cows weren't milked and the barn cleaned before we went to school. We walked 3 miles.
What school did you go to?
One in Mackintosh County School. What was the name of them? Blum? I don't even remember.
We can figure that one out. I think I have some information on the school.
There was two schools. One was east, one was west. They were both 3 miles from ours, and we went to.
The one in the Mackintosh
But I
County.
couldn't remember what the name of it was.
Did all of your brothers and sisters go to that school?
Yep. No. I don't even know if Eddie
They
went.
all went to the grade school, but then the other ones got to go to high school.
Marvin and Eddie got to go to high school. They're the only two. No, yeah, they're the only two that went to high school.
Are they the youngest two?
They're the youngest two.
Okay. So, was the school in the was the county school a one-room schoolhouse then, as well?
One-room schoolhouse, right?
About how many kids were in your class in the school?
Don't ask me.
Okay.
10, 11, 12. I don't know. Like I said, people talk about they remember things that happened. I don't remember it, and I care less.
Hey. Did you speak German in school?
Ja, mir stehen verzählen Deutsch. Immer noch.
My German is real rusty.
Well, you go to Michigan, there's all German down there.
Yeah. I have 2
My
years
mother
of
only
college
went to
German.
the first grade, and she couldn't even talk English. She talked English a little bit towards the last, but
Oh, I don't know, we talked a lot of English. towards
not
the end.
that much.
Towards the end, you want to bet?
Well, whatever. You guys talked. I wouldn't listen.
What subjects were primarily taught in the grade school?
Don't ask me. I never passed. I only went to the 7th grade.
Only went to the 7th grade.
And we had to stay home till we were done with harvest and trashing, and then the spring of the year you had to stay home, so you only went 5, 6 months.
Okay.
So
What type of farm did your parents have? Was it a grain farm, dairy farm?
grain, cattle, anything you want.
Anything on? Okay. What were your, if you had to look at your yearly activities, when would you say your year began each year? Like for students, it begins in September. When would the farmer's year begin?
November.
November.
Done trashing. The school started. They had 7 months school, but like I said, we, like us, the boys, you know, as long as there was trashing and harvesting to do, you didn't go to school. You worked.
What would the typical year be for you kids? I mean, how would your chores start out? Can you take me through like what you would do to get the crop out? Like how that...
Everything. You'd get the crop out, and after that was out, you start picking rocks, and then you made hay, and then you start harvesting, and that's what you did. You picked all the rocks by hand. Now they got machines to do it.
Or some parents use it for punishment to their children.
Well, no, we had it. It was in the making. That's all I can say. It was. Them kids nowadays that have to do what we did.
Probably shape up a lot of them.
You got that one right. I've been driving school bus for 16 years.
Oh, so you know firsthand.
I had some good hit kids and I got some bad ones.
As far as your siblings, did you guys get along real well or work well together?
The boys did, but the girls didn't. My two sisters, one lives in Portland and one lives in Stockton, California, and they're still too close together.
Really?
I don't know why them two can't get together. But me and my brothers, we got, in fact, Art, the one that passed away, me and him were the closest. So. But I get along with all of them.
What did your family house look like? Consist of how many rooms and...
Square box.
Square box?
A little longer than wider.
How many rooms were in it?
Downstairs, 2-bedroom, a living room, a dining room, and a kitchen, and upstairs was 1 bedroom.
How did like the boys sleep in one room, girls in another, or did you divide it equally? And
well, they put two. I can't tell you how that worked. Who slept two? I think the girls slept downstairs, and I know later on they put an extra bedroom up in the west end. The summertime we got pets sitting all over the place. See, the upstairs wasn't fixed up.
Okay.
So then the wintertime we slept in the dining room, 5 in a bed.
Did you have heat at all in the
Oh
house?
yeah, we had a furnace.
Did you
Cold
sleep in
furnace.
the living room, the dining room area or living room area because it was warmer, or?
No, it was warm downstairs. It was
warm?
always warm.
Okay.
And that 1 bedroom upstairs after, but I think I was gone already then, when they put heat. I don't remember that, when they put that bedroom upstairs.
When you were growing up, how did your family heat the house? What did they use to heat?
Coal?
Coal. Do you know where they got the coal from?
Wishick,
Wish it.
Danzig, wherever they had them.
What religion?
Later years we went to Firesteel and got them.
Oh.
With the truck, when we had a truck, my dad bought a truck in 1943. And after that we went to Firesteel and got them.
How did the truck change your family's life?
Work. The first fall we had that truck, my brother and I, we hauled over 100,000 bushels of wheat, and we shoveled every bushel. And that windows were up there, not down here. Then in the evenings we'd come home, put the cattle rack on, my dad take a load of cattle to Fargo. He'd be back in the morning, we'd go haul grain again.
How many hours during the night would you say you slept as a child? Compared, the farm life seems like it's pretty non-stop. So.
I don't know, 6, 7 hours. I was always the first one up, still am.
What time did you have to get up, or did you get up?
5, 6 o'clock.
Okay. And what time did you
Had to go get the cows, get them in the barn, till the rest of them got up to milk.
And what time did your day usually end?
Whenever we had supper.
It got dark.
Good question.
When it got dark.
When it got dark, right.
Yeah. When there was no more light to do any more work. When you weren't working, what types of things did you and your brothers and sisters do?
Glad to sit down. Sunday afternoons was sleep time.
Sleep time? Did you, any of you ever get into any mischief growing up? Things that made your mom and dad's eyes just roll back in their head?
I don't know what we did. Like I said, a lot of people remember that.
But it's
Like my kids now, they remember what they did when they grew up, and I can't even remember that.
Okay. Are you, you said you were real close with Art until he passed away. Were there anybody are you still close to your other brothers and sisters today?
Oh yeah, we got them in for supper every once a year.
Okay. Do they still live in the area? You have one in California, your sister
No,
in California.
sisters in California, and Ernest in Portland, and Howard is on the home place. Clifton is still on his farm, and Eddie and Marvin, they live in Bismarck and in the lake.
Oh, okay. So most of your brothers pretty much live in North Dakota. So
Yeah, they're all here.
Do your sisters come back to visit you at all, or?
No, Lerna was here for grandson's wedding, but Leona, I don't know when she was back here the last time, and Mom died, I think,
Yep.
in '93. She's afraid if she comes in here, she's going to die, and we're going to bury her.
She's not married.
She's single, she's never been married.
Never been married.
She worked for a couple, and she inherited the house and everything, and
Oh.
she's still living there for I don't know how long already. And I don't know why the hell she sells it. And she's a year older than I am.
So, with so many boys around in the family, did the boys have to help around the house as well, or did they just follow?
I don't think so. I don't.
Eddie must have. Because he knows how to cook and everything.
Well, I can cook too.
Yeah. I've never seen you make strudels.
What were some of the good German meals that your mom would make you as a kid?
Well, we were mostly raised on dough food.
Okay.
When they went to town on Saturdays, they bought sausage, and that was wait beside the plate till you were done, and that you eat last. So
Your meals, did you always sit down at the table and have them together as a family?
that was natural.
Yeah, that's at our house too. Always.
Always as a family. Did your family have a pretty large garden on the farm? Did they grow?
Pretty good sized one, yeah. I think.
What religion were you raised?
Lutheran.
Lutheran? And did you go to church every Sunday?
Mostly every Sunday. I think so.
How would you describe the pastor? Like the relation with kids and...
Oh, they was German. He was a preacher, and he preached for 2 hours, and that's about the only one I remember. I got confirmed with him, and he was still there when I left for the service, I think. Yeah, he was still there when I left for service.
He was at that church. He served at that church there for a long time.
He had 5 churches.
Oh, so
5 kind of, no. 4.
So he had a very busy Sunday.
See, he was only here one Sunday, and then the next Sunday he went to that one, the next Sunday to that one.
So when he wasn't at your church, would somebody do a reading or?
My dad was one of them. My uncle was another one.
Were the services in German then?
Yep.
Okay.
They were in German until I got back from the service when the 2 old ladies were talking German, and boy, did that sound funny.
You mentioned that you were confirmed. How long was the confirmation classes? Did they last for a week?
I think it was 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
We had to go every day.
Did you have to get up at the end and present something to the congregation, or?
No.
No? Did you have a...
Oh, it's got communion and preached whatever he said. I can't remember it anymore. It's
You
too
don't
long ago.
understand it. They shouldn't speak German like we do. They spoke High German.
Oh, they spoke High German versus...
So it was harder to understand.
Okay. Did your family have like a celebration after your confirmation or anything? Or?
No, them days they didn't have parties for everything like they do now. Went home and went back to work.
Back to work. How far was the church that you went to from your farm?
Well, that was only 1, 2, 3 miles.
Oh, so fairly close. Okay. How did your family celebrate Christmas?
Another good question. Had a Christmas program and went home and went to bed.
Did you have a Christmas tree in your house? Or
What?
a Christmas tree?
No, I don't ever remember having a Christmas tree when I was at home.
Okay. What about any gifts?
Any what?
Gifts?
Sometimes a little bit, pair of pants or shoes or something.
Okay.
Oh,
So the practical, the necessities for the...
that's about what it amounted to.
Okay. How about Easter? Did your family do any type of celebration for Easter?
No.
No.
Church, that's it.
Okay. What about 4th of July?
Got a quarter to go to town.
What town would you go to?
I remember Sealand, one of them.
Okay.
But I don't ever remember going to Wishing.
What types of things would you do in town on that day?
Good question.
Anything and everything that was available?
Like I said, I just don't remember things like people do.
Yeah, that's fine. What was your least favorite meal growing up?
Nipfler soup.
Really? We had some yesterday. And I like that.
Yeah, that was a favorite meal.
She didn't say favorite, she said
Oh.
least.
Least favorite.
Oh, least favorite.
Yeah.
No.
I would say I really like that soup.
Well, let's put it this way. I can eat anything they give me. Sometimes I don't like it, but
But you eat it.
I eat it.
Okay. Did your family do their own butchering and sausage smoking?
We did all the butchering. They got together and done the butchering.
Okay.
Like my brothers and, not my brothers, my dad's brothers and brother-in-laws, they got together and they'd butcher here one day, they'd kill them and cut them and make sausage, everything in one day. The next day they go to them once a year.
So it's kind of like a family gathering
That's
to
what
do
it
the...
was.
Okay. How about wine, beer, or root beer? Did your family make any of those?
I don't ever remember my dad
I
making.
forgot to tell you, my dad always made wine.
Always made wine?
My uncle made beer and my Elmer and I got drunk on it. That I remember.
Was that before you were supposed to?
Right.
Did anybody catch you? That is the next question.
Well, Dad come and got me home.
Yeah.
My aunt, I know she was going to make me drink some coffee.
Okay. Oh yeah, the roads to your farm, were they, similar to what we have today, or were they
Gravel roads.
gravel roads?
So wide.
Did you ever, when your family got the truck, did you ever have experiences getting your truck stuck?
No, we did. That wasn't driven in the winter time.
That wasn't driven? Okay.
We had the car and a pickup, and 2 pickups.
What,
In the later years, that was in the 40s, when we had that grain truck. And we were the first one in the neighborhood to have one, so everybody's grain we had to haul. And them 100,000 bushels, my dad bought a power plant for the
Really?
electric lights. That I remember. 4,000 and some dollars to wire the whole farm and the power plant and everything.
Oh my. When did your family get a tractor?
Oh, we had a tractor and well, on rubber we bought in 41. 7th of December 1941. I remember that. This World War started that day.
How did World War II affect your life?
Well, I got to see the world
Where did you serve?
in the army,
Okay. Where were you stationed at?
all over.
All over?
I went to Fort McClellan, Alabama. From there I went to California, but I forgot the name of that one. And then 3 of us got shipped back to Camp Pickett, West Virginia. We sat around there for a couple of months. Then they shipped us back to Fort Lewis, Washington.
My hometown.
And then I was in the MPs there, and then, you know, we had to get up at 11 o'clock and didn't get to bed till 4 or 5 in the morning. So 2 of us then volunteered for overseas duty and they sent us to Korea, so I spent another 23 days on the ship. And then on the way back we stopped in Japan for a week, stopped in Hawaii for a week. And then I got home and got married and got into trouble.
How old were you when you went into the military?
I was 18 in June, I took my physical in November, and I was sworn in December.
And how long did you serve for?
Till July 1947.
Yeah, so you served throughout the...
Oh. And now I get my medicine through that. That's one good thing.
What was it like over in Korea and Japan?
Well, I tell you, in Japan we didn't see too much. We just, I don't know, went to shows and stuff. But Korea, my dad had 1,500 acres of land, and I wouldn't have given him 1/4 for the whole damn works.
Really?
And when they had the Olympics over there, and I seen what was up there, and I figured how many US dollars are over there. Because that, like Seoul, Korea, that was just, everything was chunk house. They had honey carts, we called them. That's where they put the sewer in, and then they haul it out to the rice fields for fertilizer. Probably won't eat rice now anymore, huh?
I don't eat rice anyways.
Well, you know,
He may not.
I'm sure you don't eat rice from over there.
Yeah.
No, I just can't believe it. When I seen that Seoul, Korea, and when they had the Olympics over there, you know, they had it on TV. I could not believe my eyes.
How long did they have you in Korea for?
I was a truck driver over there. I went over in October in 46 till July in 47.
I see, there a long time.
That wasn't that long.
Okay.
I'd like to live that life over again. No, but I know now.
What was Japan like?
Oh, we just stopped in Tokyo for a couple of days, you know.
In and out.
In and out, and we just walked around, whatever, I don't know what it's, about the same as Korea. Because see, Japan was in Korea, occupied Korea while, before we got into the World War.
Did any of your other brothers serve in the war? Serve in the military?
Clifton was in Korea War, and Marvin was in Alaska, and Howard was in Germany. And Eddie was just in the National Guard here in the States for a couple of months.
Your guys' passion and patriotism to serve in the military, did your father instill that into you, or was it something that you wanted to do?
We were drafted,
Drafted? Okay.
and the neighbors had just as many boys as we did, and they weren't drafted. So that first started ringing a bell here a couple of weeks ago. I told her about that.
And then you said, and then your sons, your son, are also serving. So did they want to, or they?
Rick was in, what was he?
He graduated as a major out of the.
No, he was
No,
a little kid.
Oh, he was little when he.
And when he said, "I'm going to be a pilot,"
Oh.
He was little when he went to school. He was little. He already made his mind up.
So he just
when
did
he
all
graduated,
the
that
things
was
he wanted to do.
then he went to the ROTC and NDSU in Fargo. He went 5 years for. He had a degree in industrial engineering.
Okay.
And he got out of there as a lieutenant, and then he went to Enid, Oklahoma, and there he got his wings. And from there he went to Maine. He flew that 135 tanker plane out of Maine for 7 years. And then he moved to Texas. He was in Iceland for a year, but there I don't think he flew there, did he?
Yes, he did.
Anyway, then he went to Texas, and he was going to be a trainer pilot. And he could not land that P-31 from the back seat. So he got into this AWAC plane. And that one he flew for 13 years. And Corey, he was in 4 years. He got his leg hurt, and they kind of screwed him out of things. And Curtis is still in the service. He lives in Jamestown. Yeah.
You have moved quite a bit.
We were in Fredonia 9 years, and we've been up here, what now, 39 years?
Yeah, let's see, the boys were
38
years.
38 years.
How long after you got back did you get married?
When I was 22, let's see. I got back in 47, and we got married in 49.
Okay. How did you two meet?
My brother's wedding,
Okay.
I think.
I think that's how we met. I don't even.
See, my brother was married to his sister.
Yeah.
Actually, I got 3 kids from there. One is it's his cousin's son that's married to my youngest.
Oh. Okay. How often did you guys get to town as kids? How often did you guys get to go into one of the towns, nearby towns?
When we were kids, about every 8 weeks.
Not very often. After.
One got to go along this Saturday, and the one next Saturday, and the one the next Saturday.
Was it an exciting time as a kid to get to go to town? Is it something you look forward to, or is it just another day of life?
Just another day of life.
Just another day of life. In your school and your area, do you remember if they were primarily German-Russian people, or were there other ethnic groups like Norwegians and
No, that was all German down there.
German?
Wishick is pretty well German. It's like up here, it's Finlanders and Germans and whatever.
As far as healthcare, were there doctors nearby that would come out if somebody was sick or injured, or were there home remedies that your mom just did, or was?
Good question. I don't think I went to the doctor till I was.
It's like the army.
That's about the size of it. I don't think I was. Well, the dentist. That's about it.
Okay.
So.
And when we got to go in, he had a toothache.
Did you? Was there anybody in your family while you were growing up that was injured or that needed medical attention, or was it just?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I had a broken shoulder, but I don't even remember that. They told me that I had, but I don't. I was too small for that. Fell off the porch, I guess.
Did they tell you how they took care of that at all?
They let it heal.
They let it heal?
Maybe I should keep my mouth shut.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine.
That's about the size of it. They let it heal.
Okay. Did your family have a radio?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were you able to listen to it often, or?
Well, we listened to it, and when Dad walked in, everybody moved out. That's like when the grandchildren are here and they sit in that corner where I sit there. When I walk in the door, they move.
They know where the spot is. What types of programs did your family listen to on the radio? Just anything and everything?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Did anybody in your family play any musical instruments?
Nope.
No?
Not that I know of.
Did your family have a telephone in the house?
I think we got that about a couple of months before I left for the service.
Okay.
And then there was a 9-party line.
Looking at your childhood, what would you say was the most stressful childhood experience?
Working.
Working? Daily life?
Daily life.
What was the scariest experience that you had?
I don't know.
Nothing.
If I did have a scare, I don't even remember that.
What about the happiest? Is there a time that you remember being really happy?
Don't know if there was one.
Anytime you weren't working? How about adventurous? Did you ever do anything really adventurous as a child?
Nope.
Okay.
Play hide and go see behind the barns, and that's about it.
We never got to do anything.
Did you go to any weddings when you were growing up? What was a wedding like?
There's only one that I remember, and that's my cousin August. I can still see him sitting in the living room behind the table. That's the only thing I can remember about a wedding. And let's see, when did they get married? I read it here. She just died here a couple of weeks ago. But that was my cousin. That's the only thing I remember.
Is there anything else about your childhood that you would like to share with us?
Taking machinery apart and don't put them together.
Did you put it together right, or?
No. Took little tractors apart.
What'd your dad think of that?
Well, they were old ones.
They were
They
old
weren't using anymore. But he did. He bought a swatter from John Deere, and they wanted 3 days to put it together. And he bet him that Elmer, my cousin, and I can put it together in 1 day. And if we don't get it done in 1 day, he'll pay double for it. And if we get it done in 1 day, we get it for nothing. No, he didn't take us up. We put it together in 1 day and took it home. But they wanted 3 days to put it together.
Let's see here. Why do you think it's important to share your life story?
Do what?
Why do you want to share your life story?
Really don't know.
Because I'm here.
You guys want to know it.
Because I'm here to listen, and I want to know.
I'd care less. I want to win that $55 million side Wednesday night. No, 50. It's going to be 85 million.
Oh my. Yeah, that would be nice.
Yep.
Are there any other thoughts or observations that you would want to share with us today? Okay. And is there anybody else that you can think of that may want to, maybe a good interviewee?
Do what?
Is there anybody you would suggest to be interviewed for the project?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can always leave you some brochures, and if somebody comes to that you want to give one to, you can.
If Art was here, he'd do it.
Eddie, I'd say,
Eddie?
my youngest brother.
Art would love to do that, Art and Bertie, but they can't do it anymore.
Where's Eddie at? Is he in Wishick area? Or
Bismarck.
Bismarck?
He seems to know everything. He was kind of the pet of the family, let's put it that way.
The pet of the family?
Yeah, you can say that. You can ask Lila and I discussed it.
Was Eddie the youngest one
Yeah.
again? Yeah.
He was Edward Jr.
Yes, the babies of the families, yes. Okay. Well, I thank you, and
He lives in Bismarck.
we'll write him down and send him some information. And I thank you for the time, and we'll go ahead and turn off.